The Canadian Card Collector here, and welcome back to day 189 of your daily deck review. And the deck that we're taking a look at today is the Bicycle Blueback Playing Cards. So, with no further ado, let's take a look and see what we get. Here we have the gray Bicycle Blueback Playing Cards in the standard glossy finish tuck box. On the front it says Bicycle Blueback Playing Cards. Then you got the little ghost there, and then pretty much the standard bicycle tuck box there. On the side it says the United States Playing Card Company. Other side says Air Crusher Finish, made in the USA. The bottom just has some corporate information, and these are from 2023. On the back, you got a sneak peek of that back design. For the seal, you got a black stamp style seal with the little white outline ghost there. And then you got the little white border around that. On the top, it just says poker. So pretty much a pretty standard bicycle tuck box. On the inside tuck flap, you just got some corporate information. The inner tuck flap is just the gray color of the tuck box. If we take the cards out of the box, inside the tuck box is just plain white. Nothing too crazy going on inside there. Now that we took a look at the tuck box, time to take a look at the cards. And first we'll start with the back design. Here we have a mirrored back design with a standard white border going around. And it's a bicycle, like, similar to, like, the rider backs, but not the rider backs at all, because it still has, like, the same, like, circle design and, like, the same kind of, like, styling for, like, the little border. Except for, there's no rider back characters there. It's just, you got the circle design with the ghost inside there, and then you got the ghost in each corner there. And it is in a gray and black colorway with that white border. It's a mirrored back design, so you can flip the cards over, and it's the same design in both directions there. And for the cards you get with the deck, you get two identical jokers, which have a skull and crossbones in the corners, and that says Joker above. And then you got a little ghost with a little jester kind of Joker hat there. And then you get a double backer of the back design. And then you get a blank face. And then you get the custom ace of spades here, which is you got the giant spade there in the middle, with two little ghosts on the spade there. And then the rest of the cards in the deck are just standard bicycle faces. Then you get to the court cards. They're just standard bicycle court cards there. Jack, Queen, and King of spades are just standard. Just in like a dark red and blue colorway there. Then you got the diamonds here. They're like a standard bicycle diamonds, just in a dark red colorway. And then you got the court cards once again. Jack, Queen, and King of diamonds. Standard court cards, just in the dark red and blue colorway. Same thing for the clubs. Standard clubs. Standard court cards for the clubs. Jack, Queen, King in that dark red and blue colorway. Rest of the clubs are just standard bicycle clubs. And then for the hearts, you got the standard court card, Jack, Queen, and King of hearts, just in that dark red and blue colorway. And the rest of the hearts are just in that darker red colorway. Now that we took a look at the cards, time to test the handling. And first we'll start with the springs. Like I say, the springs are pretty, like, smooth. They're smooth feeling. The cards are slightly more on the thicker side. They're not, like, the thickest cards ever, but they're still, like, slightly thick, like a thickness to them. But they're still, like, bendy enough to where you can easily bend them. With some, like, but you have to put a little bit of pressure into being able to spring them, because they are kind of stiff. But they got a nice spring to it. And the cards are a little bit slippery, so they could, like, spring out of your hands, like, slip out of your hands. But now time for the fans. Well, as you can see, they spread nice and evenly. You can see most of the pips and numbers. There's no stickiness or clumpiness to the cards. And they're pretty consistent every time. Now time for the Pharaoh. Got a pretty smooth Pharaoh there. I only just barely had to kind of slightly push them together. And they interlocked and weaved flawlessly. Time for the giant fan of the back design. Now time for the reverse Pharaoh. And the reverse Pharaoh was pretty smooth too. So they're pretty much the same. They felt this pretty much the same in both directions there, forward and back. And then you got a decent Pharaoh there. Not flawless or anything, because there was a few little gaps there. And now time for the giant fan of the faces. Now time for the Wiffle Shuffle or Bridge Shuffle. Well, this deck actually riffles, Wiffle Shuffles, perfectly every time. Like, I can actually get a consistent riffle every time. So at first I feel not like this, super smooth. Just because the cards are still kind of stiff. So they have to be, broken in and bent. You gotta bend them up a little bit and get them broken in for them to feel nice and more smooth. So when you actually can get a Wiffle Shuffle or Bridge Shuffle to get going, and they feel pretty smooth. Definitely not the smoothest I've seen before, but they're still not pretty bad. So putting decent Wiffle Shuffles and Bridge Shuffles. Now for the packet cuts. Well, the pack cuts felt pretty smooth there. They didn't really feel like they're going to slide on my hands too much, which is nice. Overall, they're pretty consistent and nice and smooth. Now time for the one-handed cut or Chevalier cut. Now time for the dribble. And it's a slightly thicker kind of dribble. I kind of like the thicker kind of dribbles, just because it feels like you have a little bit more control over them. Like the soft ones just kind of glide out of your hands more. Like these ones kind of stick to your fingers. So you have a little bit more control to it. But they're still pretty smooth. And the dribbles are nice and smooth. Now time for the spread fan. And lastly, spread the cards on the table. Well, I gotta say, not a bad custom deck of bicycle cards here. I really like the theme, like the little ghost theme. I like the back design. Nice, like standard bicycle back design, but yet custom at the same time, with a little added bonus of the little ghosts there. Then you got the face cards here, which are completely standard. You just got the dark red colorway for the court cards and the hearts and the diamonds there. But everything else is pretty standard. And then you got that custom ace of spades there with the little two ghosts on it. So it's a ghost themed deck. And for the handling, they handle pretty good. Like, I didn't find anything too different about it. There's nothing too, like, out of the ordinary with this that I was like, that's not good. So the handling is nice and smooth for everything and pretty consistent. So no issues with the handling. Everything's nice and smooth there. I hope this has been day 189 of your daily deck review. That says Bicycle, the gray Bicycle Blueback playing cards, the version 1, or I guess the first colorway of it. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. I'm the Canadian Card Collector, signing out.